あいつはお前を取り戻しに来るか？来る、絶対に。
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most iconic scenes to come out of anime since the year 2000.
これはお前にとっても罰だ。
Number 30, The Meeting. Your name. Between the body swapping and time jumping, the romance between Mitsuha and Taki grew to be one of the most precious things we've ever seen.
それから入れ替わった日の出来事を携帯に残すこと。
この謎現象をとにかくも乗り切るために協力し合うこと。それなのにあの男は
Made all the more impressive given the fact that the two of them have never spoken outside of the messages they leave behind. And that's what makes this scene so special. With a gorgeous twilight background, the two finally are able to speak to each other in their own bodies. And needless to say, the chemistry is off the charts. True love doesn't get purer than this.
滝くん。
お前に会いに来たんだ。
Number 29, True Zone, Kokos Basketball. As far as sports spectacles go, Kuroko and his team's rise to glory comfortably sits along the pinnacle.
なんだこの得体の知れない圧力は。
With Rakuzan's team now all powered by Akashi's zone, Seiren's chances of winning appear to have gone up in smoke. That is until Kagami and Kuroko unleash their final play, a zone beyond the zone. One that sees Kagami use the eyes of his team as a means to dominate the courts and pull off a miracle win. It's fun, flashy, and fast-paced to the nth degree, and the kind of anime craziness we can't get enough of. Number 28, Frieren the Slayer, Frieren Beyond Journey's End. We're not sure if there's been a more savage moment in modern anime than this single command by this otherwise adorable elf. Living up to her moniker as the Slayer of Demons, Frieren demonstrates to the demon aura the immense difference in their mana.
お前の前にいるのは1000年以上生きた魔法使いだ。
Given that the two of them are bound by a ritual where the larger magical potency wins, Frieren utterly dominates, allowing her to render her enemies susceptible to her wishes, where she demands aura and it all by her own hand. Ice cold.
ありえない。この私が。
Number 27, The Confession. Kaguya-sama, Love is War. Grand displays of affection are a dime a dozen, and yet, in a single motion, Miyuki put all others to shame.
これが俺の気持ちだ。
Willing to embrace the cringe if it means finally putting an end to this tug of war of will they, won't they? Unleashing a torrent of heart-shaped balloons while confessing his desire to stand alongside her, the earnest affection of the love-struck genius hits its mark, leading to Kaguya fully accepting, along with the most beautiful smile you're ever likely to witness. Well played, lad.
言いましたね。
Number 26, Reunited, The Apothecary Diaries. For the longest time, we were under the impression the character of Lakan was a sinister figure in Mao Mao's life, especially given some unknown connection to her courtesan mother, Feng Jian. Oh, how wrong we were. In a brilliant twist, we learned that the two legitimately fell in love, bringing about Mao Mao in the process, only for misfortune to divide them, eventually leading to Feng Jian to be consumed by disease, with Lakan unaware she is still alive, at least until their heartbreakingly beautiful reunion.
こうやろう。
Even though she is not long for the world and her mind is nearly gone, Lakan can only see the beauty in her, taking her as his wife in the process.
私はこの義情を見受けするよ。宝泉家のような。
Number 25, Shinra Kicks Re, Fire Force. If there ever was a prick that deserved getting their face smashed in by a flaming foot, it would be Rekka. Bad enough that he had betrayed the Fire Force and was working as a double agent for the Evangelist, worse still that he was sacrificing children for his goals. But to beat the hell out of a cat girl like Tamaki, the one person who revered him above all else, he was in dire need of receiving some divine punishment of his own. Ironically enough, the one to bring his so-called holy ploys to an end would be none other than everyone's favorite friendly neighborhood devil. Number 24, Strike Freedom launches. Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny.
これで僕はまたちゃんと戦える。
People have a few complaints about Destiny, but there is a shining beacon that everyone agrees is awesome. And wouldn't you know it, it's Kira Yamato and his brand new shiny mecha. The Strike Freedom's reveal is one of Gundam's proudest moments.
キラヤマト、フリーダム、行きます。
Not only does it look epic in scale, but it's a beast on the battlefield, putting everyone else to shame as it blasts and cuts its way through every mobile suit it comes across. See Shin, this is what a real main character looks like. Number 23, all according to plan, Death Note. Like Yagami everyone, the man of a million memes, but none are as potent or as ingrained into anime culture quite like this moment of twisted revelry. Jokes aside, the return of Light's original murderous self is an act of depraved genius. He plotted every move and variable ahead of time, risked his own life, erased his memory of being Kira, all to eventually snatch it right back at a crucial moment, leaving nobody the wiser. Along with this now immortal quote, this scene cements Light as one of the most insidiously brilliant villains of the bunch. Number 22, Asta takes Yami's sword, Black Clover. By itself, this 2-on-1 battle against the leader of the Dark Triad is one of the purest examples of fantasy action done right, showcasing Yami and Asta's immense fortitude and willpower as they try to contend with Dante's devilish magic. But what really pushed it to the shonen peak was the moment where Yami willingly handed over his beloved katana to his fellow Black Bull, symbolizing his respect and trust in the no magic loser. You couldn't ask for a more beautifully brutal way to cap off such an exhilarating fight. Number 21, Escanor and Estarosa's Stare Down, the 7 Deadly Sins. Sometimes the lead up to a battle is so well placed that it actually eclipses the brawl that follows, as was the case when the Lion Sin of Pride took on the Commandment of Love. With his innate ability to freeze those that feel hostility towards him, Estarosa easily brings the majority of the sins to their knees, except for Escanor. As it happens, his pride in himself is so great that all he feels for his opponents is pity, negating the commandments and setting the stage for this infamous duel.
私に憎しみを抱いてはいけませんよ。あなたが己の海軍にかかってはせっかくの戦いが楽しめない。お前、案外いいやつだな。当然、
Number 20, Hinokami Kagura, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. Before Rengoku was setting hearts ablaze and Uzui was acting all flashy, Tanjiro had his crowning achievement during his desperate battle against one of the lower demon moons. Moments from being shredded by Rui's threads, Tanjiro remembers the parting words of his father, leading him to tap into the then unknown scorching spectacle of the Hinokami, allowing him to burn through whatever comes his way. Combined with the swelling of the music and Nezuko unlocking her blood demon art, it's no wonder this broke the internet. Number 19, Gintoki snaps. Gintama. It's all fun and games until someone takes away something that Gintoki loves. Despite his hysterically hostile relationship with the old bat, Gintoki was shown to truly care for Otose as a maternal figure. So when her former friend Jirocho seemingly ended her life, Gintoki traded in his goofy antics for unspeakable rage. Lashing out against the superior swordsman, Gintoki's rapid barrage of swings displays just how much of a beast is lurking beneath his fourth wall breaking persona, and it's not a pretty sight. Number 18, Starburst Stream, Sword Art Online Alicization. Alice may have been a standout character for all of Alicization's run, but there was no escaping just how awesome it was to see Kirito finally return to the battlefield.
おかえりなさいキリト。
俺の方こそ長い間心配かけたな。
Free of his vegetative state, the original Lord of OP arrives on the scene to take on the Subdelizer in one last boss battle, capping off with him brandishing his signature move.
Starburst!
Kirito's decked plenty of toxic players in his time, but never with this much visual flair or pizzazz. But hey, he had to show off to his two ladies. Number 17, God Madoka, Madoka Magica. Turns out that being a magical girl isn't all it's cracked up to be, especially when the fine print on your contract ensures that at some point, you're going to give in to despair and turn into a monstrous witch. While Homura's time travel antics ultimately failed to prevent Madoka from accepting Kyubei's offer, the naive cherub does succeed in finding the ultimate loophole. By preventing magical girls from turning into witches in the first place, Madoka not only resets the entire universe, but as a result transcends into a literal god, one capable of smiting anything and everything in order to preserve the newly crafted timeline.
私だってもう絶望する必要なんてない。
Number 16, Netaro's Guanyin Bodhisattva, Hunter x Hunter. A veteran hunter like Netero was always going to have some next level nen abilities hiding under his belt. We just didn't expect this. Facing off against the King of Chimera Ants, Netero reveals exactly what he's made of by conjuring a giant multi-armed construct just itching to give out hands, all of which are tailor-made for squashing down bugs. Even with his enhanced speed and defense, Meruem wasn't fully prepared to be on the receiving end of that many blows. Number 15.
Serious Punch, One Punch Man. Imbued with the strength to take down anyone or anything with a single blow, Saitama has wasted countless opponents over the course of his rudderless superhero career. But none of his strikes packed as much impact than during the punch-out with the alien tyrant, Boros.
Meteoric Burst!
Right before the Earth is disintegrated under the force of Boros' attack, Saitama unleashes the first Serious Punch, a move that not only unmakes the Galactic Dominator, but in all likeliness split the ozone layer in half.
必殺マジシリーズマジ殴り
Number 14, Excalibur, Fate Zero. When it comes to the Holy Grail War, anything goes. And that apparently includes throwing down against a giant tentacle monster. With an unstable caster going on the warpath, it falls to Saber to stop him in his tracks, leading to her unsheathing the sword straight out of Arthurian legend. Of course, her noble phantasm is more than just a fancy name. It's a weapon of blinding light capable of slicing down pretty much anything. Something that Caster found out the hard way. Number 13, Infinite Void, Jujutsu Kaisen. It's hard to tell what's more striking here, Gojo revealing his control over the literal concept of infinity, or the borderline infuriating beauty of those eyes that he's got tucked away behind that blindfold.
無料空所
Both revelations came to a head during his battle with the curse known as Jogo, where the sorcerer saw fit to reveal his own domain expansion. This not only won him the battle in an instant, but revealed just how far up the Jujutsu ladder Gojo really is. How do you contend with a man who has all of space-time under his grasp?
ここは無加減の内側
Number 12.
United States of Smash, My Hero Academia. The end of All Might's career may have been painful, but it was also the most glorious goodbye one could hope for.
今の僕が掛け合わせられる最高最適の個性たちで君を殴る
Taking on his revitalized nemesis, All for One, the world's greatest hero burns through the last embers of his quirk, just for the small chance he can come back from the brink and claim victory.
まだ予算だったまだ死ねんだな
Even as his body is broken apart, All Might holds fast to the teachings of his predecessor, allowing him to land his final technique. And it's hard to come back after taking a full country to the face.
United stay
Number 11. The Death of Louch, Code Geass. Lelouch's desire from the moment he decided to spark a revolution and overthrow an empire had always been born of noble intent. That is until his path as a masked anarchist paved the way for bloodshed, corruption, and villainy to uproot itself inside him, turning him into the very thing he swore to oppose. And then, he pulled off the greatest trick of all time. Posing himself as a tyrant of an emperor that would be hated by all, Lelouch arranges his own assassination before the eyes of the world. It's the most bittersweet of resolutions, with Lelouch finally achieving his dream, and all it took was the ultimate sacrifice.
人並みの幸せも全て世界に捧げてもらう。永遠にそのギアス確かに受け取った。
Number 10, Ichigo saves Rukia. Bleach. The golden age of the Soul Society arc, where this shonen truly flourished into something incredible, and nowhere is this highlighted better than Ichigo's dramatic entrance.
Yeah.
Ichigo!
Just as Rukia is about to be executed on false charges, the strawberry substitute Shinigami arrives at the last possible moment to save her from harm.
助けに来たぜ。Rukia.
Not only is he able to prevent Rukia from being burnt to cinders, but then goes on to show just how strong he's become via that all-important Bankai reveal.
Number 9, I Have No Enemies. Vinland Saga. Following his father's death at the hands of a Viking, Thorfinn went from naive child to a killer obsessed with revenge, letting it consume him until all innocence and desire to start anew was gone. And then the farm arc happened, along with one of the greatest examples of character growth that we've seen ever. Determined to speak to King Canute to save the farm from being torched by his army, Thorfinn agrees to take on 100 punches, which he endures to such an extent it humbles everyone gathered.
俺は暇じゃねえんだ。人を待たせてんだよ。
But the true peak of this scene comes with Thorfinn finally, after all these years, understanding and accepting the truth in his father's words.
俺に敵なんかいない。
Number 8, the Straw Hats attack the world governments. One Piece. Treasure may come and go, but for a friend, these pirates would happily take on the whole world.
ソゲキング。あの旗撃ち抜け。
了解。
And that's exactly what they do. With Robin said to be executed, the Straw Hats arrive in Eni's lobby to stage a daring rescue, but not before letting the world government know exactly what they think of them. Even with the threat of so many Navy-controlled nations bearing down on them, they don't hesitate to burn down their flag, metaphorically laying down the gauntlets.
Number 7, Brothers. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
勝てよ、兄さん。
The battle against Father wasn't only the culmination of the Elric brothers' war against the homunculi, it also marked the end of their long journey to reclaim what they had lost all those years ago. With Al foregoing his soul to gift his brother his arm back, Edward returns the favor in kind by undoing his ability to use alchemy as equivalent exchange to restore his brother's body.
錬金術がなくてもみんながいるって。
The sight of the two limping out of the Gate of Truth arm in arm is about as well earned a payoff as one could hope, and it gets us every time.
Number 6, Madara destroys the Shinobi Alliance. Naruto Shippuden. There had been a colossal amount of build-up regarding this mythical ninja, so many stories of the infamous Uchiha and his unmatched brutality. Yeah, turns out all of them were true. Moments after being resurrected, Madara decides to show the new generation how OG Shinobi throw down by taking on the entire Shinobi army single-handedly and wiping the floor with them. It's almost majestic in how Madara easily overpowers every foe that comes his way, and that's all before he decides to drop a pair of meteors on them. Number 5, Gold Experience Requiem. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind. Jonathan's the gentleman, Joseph's the joker, Jotaro's the bad boy, Josuke's the hairstyle, and Giorno is the god.
俺は真実を見ているのか
After getting his hands on the arrow, Giorno's stand evolves into an entity that rules over reality, to the extent that it can not only smash your face in, but deny you the very concept of truth. In essence, Giorno became a living Uno reverse card, and watching him bring down the diabolical Diavolo was a treat, placing the gangstar at the pinnacle of power among the Joestars in the process. Number 4, Shinji saves Rei. Evangelion 2.0, you cannot advance. No matter your thoughts on the rebuild verse, there's no getting around how incredible this scene is, from both a visual standpoint as well as the shocking fact it displays Shinji showing a backbone.
私が消えても代わりはいるもの代わりはいるもの違う綾波は綾波しかいないだから今助ける
In spite of triggering another impact and somewhat dooming the world, Shinji wasn't about to let one of his waifus perish, doing everything possible to save her from the clutches of an angel. All the while, his Ava unit goes berserk and becomes a floating harbinger of destruction. How can something so symbolic be so metal?
いいんだもうこれでいいんだ
Number 3, Eren declares war, Attack on Titan. It's the moment where shit hit the fan, when the dominoes were toppled, and the exact time Eren Yeager went from a screaming angry child to one of the scariest, most layered, and intriguing chads to grace the medium.
エレンどうやって何しにここに来た
お前と同じだよ
Infiltrating the nation of Mali, Eren makes his position perfectly clear as the world's leaders make their grandiose declaration of war against Paradis. A position that involves him transforming into the Attack Titan, murdering their leader, and going on a merciless rampage. And it was phenomenal. Number 2, Kitan Sacrifice. Gurren Lagann. Kamina may have been a man among men, but the way in which Kitan leapt off the mortal coil was something else entirely. To save Team Daiguren, Kitan launches himself on a one-way trip to destroy the Death Spiral machine. Even as his gunman is ripped apart by the dense gravity, Kitan's own overwhelming spiral power is enough to push just far enough to drill through it, saving his friends from catastrophe. While it cost him his life, Kitan's parting does a wonderful job at signing off a character who consistently proved himself to be more than the sum of his parts. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Ultra Instinct, Dragon Ball Super. Capturing the nostalgia of hardcore fans, blinding casuals with exquisite animation, all the while adding to the franchise's lore in a way that hasn't resonated so broadly since the original Super Saiyan transformation, it's fair to say Goku's mastering of Ultra Instinct was a big deal. After accessing this power only known to the gods, Goku is able to match the power of Frieren, leading to a one-sided beatdown that caused fans to lose their minds. It wasn't only epic, it was an event. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.